Let's bow in brief prayer. Lord, again, we ask very simply that the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts might find acceptance in your sight. Amen. Several years ago, I was privileged to be appointed the principal chaplain Protestant for the Canadian Armed Forces. And in that role, I visited bases, chaplains, and chapels across Canada. Now, one of my primary concerns was the revitalization of Protestant chapels. Like many civilian churches, it seemed that a number of Protestant chapels were wrestling with relevance. Now, the purpose of a military chapel is straightforward: to support and enhance the operational effectiveness of the Canadian Armed Forces by contributing to the morale, moral, and spiritual well-being of the members of the Canadian Armed Forces, their families, in all aspects of their lives during conflict and peacetime. Now, with respect to chapels, there was a challenge. Most chapels were populated by retired service members and members of the local civilian population. And this was a cause of angst for some chaplains. Chapels were populated by people who were outside of the primary mandate. Now, this made for a sometimes uncomfortable or awkward relationship and an underlying question by the people in the pews: why are we here? Lloyd Graham was a member of St. Mark's Chapel in Greenwood, Nova Scotia, and he was a retired navigator. One Sunday, during a visit of the Principal Chaplain P., Lloyd spoke to me. And speaking on behalf of those who were not serving members, he said, "We understand the mandate to minister to serving members and their families. We understand the mandate to support operations. And we agree. What we want is a role." Now, Lloyd was absolutely correct. Most of what the worshiping community was mandated to do was to serve people who were outside of the reality of most of the members of the worshiping community itself. This was fine. This was accepted. This was right. What was not fine, and what was not accepted, and what was not right, was a feeling that retired members were overlooked or excluded from the purpose of the chapel. Now, much of the work of Trinity is intended to meet the needs of people living beyond the regular congregation. While we receive the benefit or comfort or joy or direct relevance of some aspect of the congregation's ministry, most of what we do is in service to others. Those who are well fed prepare meals for the hungry. Those who are already part of the circle work to make space for those who are not. Our greatest fulfillment comes not in what we receive, but in what we give. Like Lloyd Graham, we understand that our greatest fulfillment is not in ministering to ourselves, but in having a valuable purpose and role in serving others. But you, O Bethlehem of Ephrathah, who are one of the little clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to rule in Israel, whose origin is from old, from ancient days. A little village, part of a little clan, fostered one who was to rule in Israel, whose origin is from of old, from ancient of days. This gift, this service, was of little consequence to the people of Bethlehem, but in it, Bethlehem changed the world. Now, Trinity United Church has a significant population of older and retired folk. Some of what we do is intended to meet the needs of mainline, traditional, conservative, comfortable, older folk. But these same folk have a purpose outside of themselves. And we are reminded of a large piece of this in baptism. Olivia May Allen represents our purpose today. Olivia represents the reason why we have a Sunday school. In our part of the covenant of baptism, we imply a promise to provide a place and a community in which Olivia can be raised in faith. This is why children's and youth ministry is such a preoccupation in the transition report. Olivia represents the reason Heidi asks from time to time, will we invest in a youth minister? Olivia, Lincoln, Amy, and Jake represent the reason why Jana Ranger, with assistance from Olivia's Aunt Becky, sponsor a movie night as part of Family Fridays. Olivia, Lincoln, Amy, and Jake represent the reason Marguerite and Lorraine sponsor Messy Church as part of Family Fridays. The family that comes forward for baptism represents a large part of our role, serving the needs of our young families, even or especially when the busyness of life prevents them from being present with us as much as we would choose. This is our purpose. This is our pledge. This is our joy. Amen.